And we're back for our Let's Play of Riven Remake. The Riven Remake, I mean. Last time we poked around, what I assume is the fire marble mines, then poked around some more in Ghen's study area lab thing. Weird tusks. And, now it's time to do some proper snooping. 75, 60, 79, 67. I have been cataloging the natural elements of this age for many years now. Yet I still continue to find evidence of the number 5. Oh, is that what that box of random stuff was? Just seashells and stuff with 5 symmetries and tree broken into 5 chunks and leaves of 5. She's a bit coincidental, honestly. You sure you're not just looking for it? As a boy, it was very clear to me that it held a place of special significance in the Dunny society. From the ancient heraldic emblems of the ruling elite to the humble homes of the commoners, it was ubiquitous. Its presence here is clearly a direct reflection of the minds that offered the texts I used to compose this age. Further proof that through their art, the Dunny masters were indeed creating the marvelous worlds they wrote, and not, as many have mistakenly thought, merely forging links to pre-existing worlds. Well, all my ages have been based on Dunny designs. I see now that the ones most vested with the power of 5 are also the most beautiful, the most perfect, and undoubtedly the most structurally sound. Yeah, well, Riven's book number 5 in your collection, and it's not doing too well, is it? I still have yet to determine how Dunny color symbology reflects the superior design principle. Well, ostensibly a 6-color system, I'm convinced that there must be some deeper connection to the number 5. I'll continue to investigate. It doesn't even fit your own theory, come on. Just admit you screwed up somewhere. 80, 115. The Itrim traps have been particularly fruitful this year. Apparently the breakup of the islands has not adversely affected their subterranean ecosystems. Unfortunately, I imagine the rebels are also experiencing a generous harvest. No shortage of poison for their darts this season. Such vexing issues aside, this unexpected windfall has allowed me to refine a particularly pleasant extract from my pipe, one that is smoother than any other in recent memory. To anyone out there, don't lick Toad. You will die. The fact it gives you visions is just a weird coincidence. It's designed to kill you. Like, to defend the Toad. Just don't. 85, 6, 27. I have reluctantly decided to suspend my inquiries into the unusual behavior of the water of this age, as there are more pressing matters that now demand my attention. For further reference, however, my investigations have revealed the following. I believe the remarkable properties of the water to be caused by a microbe that resides within it. I'm imagining a motile unicellular organism, but one with a structure that allows it to manipulate bits of water, the aggregate effect of which is that the composite body of water is able to deform itself in response to threatening conditions. Okay. Prolonged exposure to extreme heat, a period of extended boiling, for example, seems to kill them off, which would explain the dramatic aversion to even moderate rises in temperature. There's still much to learn, however, regarding this peculiar phenomena, and its possible uses. 81, 5, 14. Construction of the imagers is proceeded without fault. Remarkable how easy it was to adapt the Dunny technology to mimic that of the Ahmad. The two cultures must surely have crossed paths at some point in their histories. It may even be that Kato was a direct descendant of the Dunny, else to explain the redemptive Dekvar connection. Barf. But that's all pointless now. Tear stains. Like, even when you're being heartfelt, you're being a prick. Like, sorry? Question mark? 82 to 10. Maintenance on the steam vent caps completed. I am extremely pleased with this continued success of the system. Another example of the superiority of Dunny technology. Barf. Ironic that Atris and Catherine's meddling unwittingly provided me with such a convenient source of power. Yeah, if it works, it works. I'm certain now that the Fisher was an unexpected byproduct of the changes they wrote into this age as part of their machinations to trap me here, and that Atris never intended for the book to be lost among the stars in the process. Better that a linking book be destroyed than to risk it falling into the unknown hands. Had they foreseen the creation of the Fisher, they surely would have sought another solution, as the ensuing cataclysm may well have consumed the entire world had I not managed to intervene. Catherine would never have knowingly taken such a risk. And surely my son, given his own dearth of vertebrae, I gotta use that one, it only meant for Riven to become my prison, not my tomb. Well, it's somewhat good that the missed book was found by someone else, i.e. me, because I saved Atris, got the brothers Sirius and Akanar, got to justice, I guess, I don't know. And now I'm here to interfere with Ghen's nonsense, so that's useful. 82, 5, 8. I'm discontinuing regular observation of the expanse beneath the Fisher. I've tracked the stars and have proven that their paths are cyclical, but without proper instrumentation, there is nothing more I can learn. My theory, however, remains unaltered. The fabric of this age was breached in a way that permits matter to be hospitably exchanged between two discrete yet overlapping spaces. Yet the attendant paradoxes defy the laws of conventional physics. The great column of wind that formed when the rift first appeared suggests a vacuum, as one might expect in space, yet my early experiments seem to confirm the presence of a breathable atmosphere. That Atris momentarily threw himself into the void is further evidence that it might possibly be safe to venture into. But without knowing its true nature, I simply cannot take the risk. It's also difficult to say what would happen were I to reopen the Fisher now, but it's highly probable that results would be disastrous. 82, 7, 1. My hopes have been dashed again. The latest ink formulation has proven to be yet another in a long list of failures. Frustrating to spend so much effort constructing a linking book, only to end up destroying it when it refuses to function. Too often has this lab grown uncomfortably warm by the flames of these never-ending disappointments. Without my reference library back in the knee, a properly orthodox linking book may simply be beyond my means. But I simply cannot burn another book. There has to be another way. Oh, you know, maybe you could try, like, fiddling with the language. Like, as opposed to copy and paste it, you could try to learn the syntax the way Atris did. Then after you spend a while practicing on ages of nothing in them, and they don't fall apart on you, you could actually write something that makes sense. Then again, if you wrote something that worked, you try to subjugate it, so, you know, just keep giving up. 82, 7, 6. Pens of Fate. Late last night, while pondering these interminable setbacks, I went to light my pipe. The fire marble got away from me, however, and rolled across the gateway image to the open book before me. If the consequence of this had not been repeatable, I would not have believed my eyes, as the marble left a faint yet definite trail of increased clarity in its wake. Okay. The change did not last long, but it was unmistakable. If I could find a way to boost the energy output of my fire marbles, it might be possible to suppress the variance enough to facilitate a stable link. But how? Oh boy. 82, 9, 6. A spatial anomaly occurred yesterday, about 5 spans above the north shore of Temple Island. A breach of stars seemingly identical to the one beneath the Fisher. Okay, I didn't see that. It began as a small cloud-like hole, which then commenced to expand in random surges. With some effort, I was finally able to contain it with runic plates, similar to the ones I devised for the Fisher. I believe it'll hold, but the appearance of a new rift is troubling. And yet, it's also left me with the most uncanny feeling that something fundamental has shifted in my favor. I believe it may be time to give this inexplicable mystery a second look. 82, 9, 6. I've erected a small dome, pressurized airlock, mounted upon the contained breach. This has allowed me to safely conduct tentative forays in the expanse without subjecting Riven to further invasion and destruction of that would certainly attend it. Oh, that's what the domes are. I don't want to step into them now, but I don't know. It's a bafflingly improbable space, yet surprisingly more accommodating than my initial observation had led me to believe. Breathing is indeed possible within it, yet I cannot say that it's respiration as I am used to it. Rather, as nonsensical as this is going to sound, it feels at times that the expanse was breathing me, in the process imbuing me with a sense of endless possibility. Well, endless possibility is kind of a thing when you're between dimensions, you know, it's like, you can go literally anywhere. Words that don't exist yet, but might. I don't know. You know what? Keep in there. I don't know. 82, 9, 13. At last, the breakthrough I was hoping for. After my first full day of experiments in the expanse, I was astonished to discover that the fire marbles in my coat pocket had come to fluoresce. A quick strike test confirmed that their energy levels had increased significantly, and their changes lasted longer than I would have thought possible. In a clear act of divine providence, the expanse has given me the final piece of the puzzle, an apparently boundless energy source that should be more than sufficient to rectify my linking books. Oh boy. But I must work quickly. 2 more breaches have occurred in the interim, each one more aggressive than difficult to contain to the last. Time, I fear, is running out. 83, 2, 8. The breach is now number 5, a sure sign that I am on the right path. I've connected the domes of each of them by a nexus of pathways within the expanse, which will also serve as an inter-island shortcut as I continue my work on enhanced fire marble complex. Hold on. 5 of them, not counting the Starfisher, thus suggesting a rule of 5, not counting the one I just saw on Jungle Island that had nothing to do with the domes. You're grasping at straws, Ghen. Please take a break. 8333. That's fun to say. The loss of 2 more men yesterday has made it clear that the full spectrum of energy is too great for even my finest fire marbles to contain. I'm sorry, are you just making bombs here? So I've decided to break it up into 5 discrete frequency ranges, which will later be recombined for application to the book. I've installed 5 charging stations within the expanse, each one calibrated to imbue a blank fire marble with a separate band of the total energy needed. A pneumatic tube system will then convey the charged marbles to the great gold dome on Riven for recombination. Freedom is nearly within my grasp. I'd prefer if it wasn't. 8357. The problem of how to return to Riven has been settled. Ghen has proven his usefulness over the years, at times nearly rivaling my own engineering prowess. He and his team will have the honor of being the first to link to the new age, bringing with them the necessary materials to build a vastly simplified version of the book apparatus, which I have personally designed. If they do not return within a reasonable amount of time, I will revise my design and send additional men until they get it right. Should they founder, however, I am prepared to sacrifice every last man on Riven to continue the effort. This cannot fail. Jiminy Christmas, this guy needs Prozac. Is that even a thing yet? 83, 9, 11. At long last, a viable loop has been established. After an eternity of toil and sacrifice, and unconscionable preemption of the ages I might have fathered, I have finally linked to a new age. Okay, 9 times 25 is... oh god. 225. Plus 8. 233. Jiminy Christmas, this guy's a mess. It's a bleak and barren world, perfectly suited for my purposes. By closely comparing the real with the written, I believe I will soon be able to create a more appropriate age from which to relaunch my mission. For now, however, I will move my office and living quarters there, so that I may safely continue my endeavors without distraction. We'll have to see about that. Although it is but a stepping stone, 233, didn't even bother naming it, is another triumph. To think that I have accomplished in a matter of years, under extremely adverse conditions, what it took my dunny ancestors centuries to achieve. Yeah, sure. 85, 6, 7. I got one of my assistants thumbing through this journal today. He will certainly never do it again, but I'm glad he chose to write this in a language people cannot decipher. Perhaps it's time I reviewed security measures of each guildmaster. No problem expected from the builders, maintainers, and surveyors, but the bookmakers and educators may need a bit more motivation. Excellent! Oh boy. Also, I just noticed the faint outline of his own symbol in this book. Crying out loud. 86, 10, 24. More reports of spirit sightings. Seems that under Catherine's leadership, the rebels, or Black Moiety as their villagers stubbornly insist on referring to them, have attained a new level of sophistication in their terror tactics, renewing their campaign to intimidate the weak-minded into joining them by preying upon their cultural superstitions. I suppose I should be concerned by this, but it strikes me as almost laughable. If the rebels wish to dilute their ranks of dimwits, then who am I to stop them? Have a bit more respect for people you don't know. Like, you don't know them, how can you know they're dimwits? You just jump into conclusions. It's kind of your thing, isn't it? 87, 3, 29. Chemical analysis of one of the rebel knives has yielded curious results. The metal contains elements that are unlike anything I've encountered on the islands. It appears the rebels have access to a resource that I am unaware of, perhaps a mine or an uncharted island. Most of these knives have been found on the south side of the village, same region that reports of people mysteriously disappearing have emanated from. I think a closer inspection of the area is warranted. The fact that the rebels deliberately leave these distinctive knives to the sign of their presence is concerning. They're growing bolder, as if they no longer fear the discovery of their hideout. 87, 6, 27. Recent measurements indicate that the movement of the islands has slowed dramatically. My previous estimates predicted the total collapse in approximately 3 months, but with the new figures, I'm no longer certain. I've nearly finished writing the 34th age. Joy. Hold on, let me just check to make sure that's right. 25, 26, 27, 30. Yep. And have every confidence it'll be a safe place to relocate to. But it would still be useful to know what's caused the sudden halt in Riven's breakup. Is it possible that the age is stable after all? If so, I must discover how it differs from 233, which has already shown troubling signs of decay, though further tests are needed. Of course. And yet, there's something about this that gives me pause. Could it be that someone's attempting to repair the damage to the 5th age at its source? I cannot help but think that the hand of Atreus is behind this somehow. And you should thank your son, with his so-called dearth of vertebrae. Because he ain't doing this for you, he's doing this for the people you're screwing around over here. I don't like that guy. We'll be back next time.